so it looks like it is going to be Deadpan Mage versus Lindsay in the finals of this match. And it is going to be a mirrors final. That's right. Diggy Diggy Hole versus Diggy Diggy Hole. And both players are going to be able to take it to each other in this case. So let's go ahead and get that signed up. So let's go ahead and see what we got right here. We have Deadpan Mage that, of course, was able to take it to Michael Norton and win in the match. And then with that as well, we also have Lindsay now going against Deadpan Mage. So that is awesome and super exciting to see. And if you guys want to be a part of this league, then feel free to go ahead and join the Discord down below. We play once a week, so you don't have to. No, we play once a week in a best of 3 match, and then you go ahead and make sure that they also know that they're playing for 3rd place. Anyway, guys, so this is going to be an intense time to be able to go ahead and get this going. Mirror match right here. Lindsay versus Lindsay. Now, with that said, like I said, this league is a best of 3 once a week match that you go ahead and play. This is for those who, might not have or might love the competition, or they might not have necessarily a game store nearby that they can then go ahead and join and play. You, of course, need a webcam, but you can set up your webcam through your phone to be able to do so, just like what we saw with JB in that case. And you can play either Pixelborn or Discord, whichever you wish. You also are able to play a best of 3 challenge match as well, which you can then go ahead and, if someone accepts, play another best of 3 match for a total of 2 matches in a week. Right now we have about 60 competitors that are in the league, and we are going to have the final tournament on the following Sunday, March 9th at 10 Eastern. I had to do the math real quick, even though I've typed 10 Eastern 50,000 times. Anyway, guys, it's going to be an exciting time. It has been such an exciting league here, and it has been so great to be able to get these games going. I've absolutely loved being able to get to know the community and to be able to cast these matches for you. This is a good opportunity for people who might not be able to go to an LCQ or those big Disney Challenge tournaments, that they might still be able to, of course, go ahead and feel what it is like to be professionally casted in this case. And of course, we do have some good prize support as well, where the top winners of the final tournament will be winning custom playmats, and it will say champion, just like the champion playmats that you have from the Lorcana game store championships as well. And then second place, of course, will be getting just a regular custom playmat for their own playing pleasure, I guess, in that case. And so it'll be interesting to see what's going to be happening here. And so I'm curious to see what they might be able to do. So we are going to be waiting for their games to be created in this case. And so Deadpan Mage and Lindsay might be even playing in Discord, it looks like. So we'll go ahead and join them here. And so it looks like they are going to be doing a high roll in this case and then getting some shuffling going. And so it looks like they both rolled 8 in that case. And another 8. And a 6. So it looks like Lindsay is going to be opting to go first in this case. So they are going to be shuffling right then and there to be able to get this finals match going. And man, it is going to be a thriller mirror match going on right now. And this is going to be a best of 3 match. Both of these competitors, of course, have made it to the final tournament. They are playing for seeded position and also bragging rights. It's pretty cool to say that you won the LCQ, in that case. And it has been some very tight matches today that we've been able to have. We started at 10 Eastern. And we have been playing now for about 3 hours, give or take, and we are in the final tournament. So it is going to be exciting. Now, the thing to keep in mind, too, is that they are going to, of course, be mulling again. No big deal with that. Trying to figure things out. Now, it can be a little intimidating seeing Deadpan Mage's playmat. She has gotten second at a store tournament. So... And I mean, come on, those are cool. Those just look so good. I have my champion playmat right now below my laptop. And this was a really good one. I hated that they did the Encanto one, just because like I don't necessarily care for the Encanto cards or the movie even in particular. The Ursula one was an amazing playmat. The Stitch one was really cool too. But the Scar though, man, this is just such a great one. So here we go, guys. One final look at the tournament bracket right here. We have Lindsay and Deadpan Mage, two women facing off in the finals, and going against them or fighting for third place right now will be Luigi and Michael Norton. So inking a Lawrence and playing a Cinderella and passing in this case. And that's going to be a little intense to have to deal with. And so it's going to be interesting to see what is going to be happening here. And yeah, Encanto was not one of my favorite movies at all. It was okay. I just didn't love it. And so I was kind of disappointed when they had that as a store championship playmat, but that's okay. And so yeah, it looks like it's actually going to be matched. And so Lindsay is going to be going back and with her Cinderella in this case as well. Oh, and a Piglet's going to be coming out, and Cinderella's going to be singing a Let the Storm Rage on the Cinderella. And that's the hardest part about going first in the mirror match, especially when you both have the Cinderellas. And then on top of that, Lindsay, of course, will also be able to, draw a card off of that as well. And card draw is going to, I believe, be the biggest difference maker for our competitors here. If whoever, I really think whoever draws better in this case is going to be taking the win here. Because, I mean, if you're not able to get that card draw going, then you're at a loss. There's not going to be anything that you're able to do to be able to get ahead. And so the ELO sheet is a little bit different, and I haven't actually looked at that yet. But the top 28 is listed properly. And we can take a look at that at the end of the tournament as well. And so, I mean, both these competitors have done such a great job being able to get these competitors going. And so this is going to be intense. So right now, Deadpan is thinking about what she's potentially needing to do to be able to get going in this game. And so it'll be interesting. Sorry, guys. It looks like we'll be waiting for a second. But it looks like a Piglet's going to be inked in this case. Going to for a Calhoun? A Calhoun. And yes, So in this case, the pass goes over and the Piglet is going to be able to go ahead and quest in this case and gain 3. Now the Cinderella, if you go ahead and play the third character and then seeing a Strength of a Raging Fire, you'll be able to take out the Calhoun, no problem. Now she has to have that card in her hand. She also needs to be able to get one more character, but it looks like a John Silver is going to be going down for ink. And a Sleepy's going to be coming out with Bodyguard. And there's the Strength, taking out the Calhoun, dealing 3 damage, and then able to safely quest to go up to 3 and passing back to Deadpan Mage. Man, this is going to be intense. And so right now, though, Deadpan needs to be able to get back into this. This is going to be a big turn, but I mean, at the same time, if she don't, we just saw a Strength of a Raging Fire. But I mean, Lindsay right now has had the perfect opening. Turn 1, Cinderella. Turn 2, sing the Strength, get the Piglet out. Turn 3, quest for 3, sing a Strength of a Raging Fire on the Calhoun, for example. It's like, does life get any better? Like, seriously though, there's just so much going for her right now that this momentum shift is going to be very difficult to have to do. And it's going to be an uphill battle here because the nice part is at least Lindsay is starting to run out of songs. And that's going to be the biggest thing here. It's going to be pretty hard to maintain songs. But at the same time, Sleepy is a bodyguard with a 7 Dwarves mine coming in, which means if you go ahead and then drawing 2 off of the dock. And Sleepy is bodyguard. as well, which means the Lawrence would have to attack in to the Sleepy. But then there is a strength being sung. The top deck that Lindsay has been able to maintain here is absolutely insane. Taking out the Lawrence, questing for an absurd amount, not an absurd amount, but still, going up to 7, and then passing that. Lindsay has had the perfect game so far. I don't know how she's been able to do that, but anything that Deadpan has been able to put out, Lindsay has been able to deal with ease, and has top decked everything that she's possibly needed and then some. Like, I can't believe this. Oh my gosh. And there's a 7 Door of Mine to match. That's going to be a little bit difficult to have to deal with, of course, in that case. And then another 2 for a Calhoun as well. And that's going to be a pretty good shift right there for a little bit of a change. And that's going to be nice. So, but still, we have the bodyguard in play. So if the Calhoun has to go into the Sleepy, for example, you can deal 1 damage. You have to move the Calhoun into the mine. But that's still going to be a very difficult situation to have to deal with this board state. Lindsay is playing it so incredibly well. She's gaining 1 off of the Dwarven Mine. She's playing a Lilo. And then she's spinning another 2 to move the dock into the mine. To doing 1 damage to Calhoun. It would be 2, but it's only 1 because of Calhoun's resist in that case. And then questing for everything, and Sleepy now has to be attacked in this case. And I mean, going up to 15 or 14 in this case, game is on board, and that is just so scary to have to go against in this case. 14-1. And so did not add the 1. I'm sure they'll catch it if they don't catch it, but the game's over anyway, so I'm not necessarily going to say anything. But so, I mean, that's a very difficult situation for Cindy here in this case. This is such an uphill battle right now. I don't know if there's a way to be able to come back from this. Even if you go ahead and attack into the Piglet or whatever you attack into, you're almost denying holding back the inevitable. And so that's just going to be such a difficult situation to be able to go into. Deadpan Mage is playing through all her potential lines that she might be able to do, but even still, especially with characters that don't necessarily have rush, Lindsay just has way too wide of a board to have to be able to deal with anything in this case. Also, the Sleepy Bodyguard is such a good card. Protecting her board. I mean, you have the Piglet out, but you have the Sleepy. There's only songs that can go ahead and take out at that point. And so this is going to be such a difficult situation. She's still trying to figure out her lines and everything. But okay, it looks like they are going to be scooping, and it looks like that Lindsay has taken the first game in the finals. And I mean, it went back and forth. I mean, I gotta say this. Sleepy, I feel like, has been absolute clutch for Lindsay in these matchups so far. I'm liking it in Diggy Diggy Hole. It is such an intense bodyguard. And being able to play Piglet turn 2 and then go ahead and make you play Sleepy turn 3, especially in this mirror match, for example, they might not have necessarily had the answers, but I mean, Lindsay, I think, pretty much played that game perfectly. No other way around it. I mean, she was able to go ahead and just get that perfect. She had the perfect line. And then even with the dock, she drew into the strength of a Raging Fire and things of that to deal with the board even on top of that. Now, keep in mind, though, this is a best-of-3 match, meaning that, of course, Deadpan Mage will be opting to go first this time. And with that as well, she is going to be giving, she's going to be able to maybe even set up her Cinderella and start to counter against anything that Lindsay ends up playing. So you got to be a little bit careful about how you go about those lines here. And so they are finishing their shuffles. They are done with all of that and doing their mulligans as we speak. So will it be to the third match, or will it all come down to the end right here for both of these competitors? Time will tell. But I mean, Lindsay has been playing this tournament just incredibly, incredibly well, fighting through the entire ranks to be able to make it to the finals here. Now, if she is able to take this and win at the end, this is going to just be absolutely incredible to be able to do so. And so in this case, though, it looks like Deadpan Mage is going to be putting back 5 in this case. Yeah, it's going to be the top 4 who go into the final 28 to make it 32 competitors. And then it's all played by seed after that. So first place will be going against fourth place. First place of this tournament will be going against fourth place in the final stand tournament. And fourth place will be going against the first seeded, which will be SG Stevens. So, yep. So anyway, yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see then how these leagues are going to be taken out or taken care of, especially as they play. And so it looks like in this case, Deadpan Mage is ready to start. Put 5 cards back. Is she necessarily going to have the right answers to be able to take on Lindsay here? And I mean, the nice part is she's in second, so she's going to be sitting pretty for the next tournament as well. And so it's going to be interesting too, though, because Lindsay is also with Chasey as well, and so both of them are going to be able to compete in the final stand together in the same household, and it would be actually really funny if they went against each other during the tournament as well. But it looks like, yeah, Cinderella is going to be coming out still again for a Lindsay, matching the Daisy. Now again, like I said, this could very well come down to who draws better. If you have a Daisy out, ooh, chills. If you have a Daisy out, that's going to be a little bit scary because you could be giving your opponent a lot of cards. At the same time, we saw Lindsay having to put a lot of cards at the bottom of the deck, mainly like her two Dwarven Mines she put at the bottom, and then it was like a Strength of a Raging Fire and things like that as well. And so this is going to be a very interesting matchup here. Inking a Piglet? Oh my gosh, yeah, you got to be worried about that because you another Daisy on top of that too. Man, Quest for One, that's going to be a Daisy trigger, and that's going to be a Calhoun in hand. Oh my gosh. And that's going to be a pass over to Lindsay in this case. I mean, that's going to be a little bit scary. You saw the Calhoun. The Cindy is going to be inked. Now, that is a bullet dodged right there, but I understand why you definitely want to be inking that, especially because that's the odds of your Cinderella lasting that long is going to be a little bit or slim to none in that case. Playing the Calhoun come turn 2 is also just a great play as well. Now, does Cinderella have a song that she can sing in this case? And is it worth doing that on a Daisy? Questing for one, though, no, not in that case, and passing. So here we go. 4 lore that is going to be able to gain going up to 6, but that's going to be 2 Daisy triggers that could put 2 more additional cards into Lindsay's hand. So that's going to be so difficult to have to deal with here in this case. Ooh, Lawrence. These are some tough inks to swallow here. Oh, okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. I'm like, if you're really inking a Lawrence, what are you going to play? But still, the double Daisy trigger is going to be just a little bit scary. So there we go. The Lindsay is going to be going ahead and getting 2 Daisy triggers, adding a Dock to hand, and adding a Piglet to hand. Oh my gosh. And that is going to be a pass. So right now, Deadpan Mage is at 6 to Lindsay's 1. But again, the Calhoun is going to be able to do some work here, taking out one of the Daisies minimum. Now, of course, the Lawrence is probably going to be taking out the Calhoun in this case, and, nothing wrong with that either. Then again, if you really want to, you can go ahead and do the. You're worried about the. Okay, yeah, it looks like instead Calhoun is going to be opting into finishing off the Daisy, gaining 2 with the help of Cinderella in this case as well. Now, of course, there still is going to be a lot of ink left, or not a lot of ink left, but ink left to be able to do additional actions as well. And so this is going to be an interesting matchup. And Lawrence again for ink. I guess we're just inking Lawrence's. That's what we're about now. So 3 ink to play with. 2 is going to be for Piglet. Nice. You got to be very careful about that too, just because they might be able to get some actions going. But it looks like that's going to then be a pass over to Deadpan Mage. Now, Deadpan Mage is going to be going ahead and gaining some card draw there. And then also, I mean, she's at 6, soon to be 10. Even with another Daisy Trigger, even, you know, you don't necessarily feel bad. But I mean, you could go ahead and start doing. You can go ahead and take out the Calhoun, and Lawrence would still be alive. And that would also be 3 damage. Oh. So Storm Rage On is going to be hitting the Piglet instead for the card draw. That's still a great turn right there. Now, do you quest with the Daisy here? Okay, another inking of I Won't Give In. And a Pete. So no actions can be played either for Lindsay until her very next turn. Not her next turn, her very next turn. So it's going to be interesting to see then. And do you quest? Do you yield? Daisy trigger? A Daisy! Whew. Now, the biggest thing here, and Deadpan Mage has been able to go ahead and get a lot of lore gain pretty fast. 8-3 right now. That's a difficult board to have to deal with as well. The Daisy, of course, will be able to be taken care of again in that case, and that would be a good turn of events as well. And we also saw another Daisy in hand, and so there's ways to catch up to this pretty reasonably. Another Cindy coming in, and then a Daisy as well. And so, I mean, this is just going to be interesting. We are in the finals right now, and then a strength. Oh, no, you can't. The Pete is out. Carry on. Anyway, I'm just the voice from above here. So that changes things a lot, and I do want to make sure, yeah, that is played properly in that case. And so, yeah, the Pete was out, so the song could not be sung in that case. So Pete is putting in work here on going ahead and getting that taken care of here. And a Pete is being inked as well in that case, which is an interesting choice to play. Seven Doors Mine revealing on accident a Cinderella, a big Cindy right there. But that's okay, you know. And so the Calhoun can go ahead and take out another Daisy, or both can go ahead and swing in and take out the Lawrence. And so there's a couple of options there. Yeah, and that's the thing too. So Cinderella is going to be attacking into Lawrence, steal 1 damage, and then that's going to keep Calhoun alive for the next turn and gaining 2 lore, going up to 5. And we saw the big Cindy. Oh, we saw it. So that's going to be intense if she's able to go ahead and shift that in. And it's like, that'd be funny though. It's like you play the Pete and then actions are still played. It's like, Pete's like, I'll allow it. Lindsay paid me off. We're gonna allow action. She paid me more. Deadpan Mage is gonna be yelling at me. You know, the ref allowed it. Ooh, and there's a dock, discarding a dock to draw 2. That's gonna be a good turn of events right there. The card draw is still being maintained. Pete can also sing a song at a 3 cost. He can sing Storm. He can sing Strength of a Raging Fire. Don't think she drew that necessarily, but a Cindy is still going to be coming in. And I mean, this is a wide board that Deadpan has been able to build so far. Just a great job on her part on being able to do that. So So Pete is going to be trading with Calhoun here. And then Daisy's going to still probably get that trigger off in that case. And then, oh, that's a pass right there instead. And so gaining 1 for the Seven Dwarves mine in that case, that's going to be pretty solid. She does have a Singer out on the board, and she is going to be able to draw a card here. And so she has a couple of options in her hand. Of course, that's how hands work. And so she inks for the turn. And then, oh, is she going to go ahead and do the Cindy shift? And if so, she can attack ready characters as well. Now, is Cinderella a knight as well? Because if you move it into the Seven Dwarf, I think Cinderella is a knight as well. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's totally a knight. Duh. And then the Daisy trigger to add a Calhoun to hand. And so, yeah, the Cinderella is a knight in this case and can deal 2 damage with the Seven Dwarfs Mine. I figured, yeah. But sometimes they're really weird about what are and what aren't. Like, I'm kind of mad Robin Hood isn't a hero, for example. I feel like Robin Hood should be a hero. Or a captain, I mean. Maybe a captain. No, not a captain. He's a hero, right? Yeah, he's a hero. Big Robin Hood's a hero too, yeah. Yeah, it was Captain. I always felt like he should have, even though he's definitely not a captain in the movie. Oh man, so this is going super wide for Deadpan right now. And do you opt to, instead of playing a Calhoun, do you opt of moving in a Happy or a Doc into to deal 2 damage and then to attack with Happy, for example, into the Cindy to finish her off? Yep, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to be happening, and the Daisy is no more in this case. And they're still both players are still maintaining a pretty good board state in this case. Being able to, just, but I mean, the Cinderella on the other side, the resist +2, the ability to attack readied characters when a song is played, moving into the mine even, and being able to deal 2 damage to something. You could take out their Cinderella as well, and then take out the Doc if you play a song. Or take out the Doc anyway. And so, yep, there we go. It looks like a quest for 3 and a pass. And so that's going to be a Daisy trigger. I'm not quite sure what they ended up drawing here either. Wait. 1 second. We got a call here. No, it's perfectly fine. What's going on with the game? Uh-huh. Yeah. No, I get it. So, outside of that, the activation of Ariel, what would happen to Ursula? If Yeah, exactly. So in that case, Ursula would still go to hand, and then Ariel would activate as normal. So you would see the 4 cards. You could still add a whole new world to hand, and then the rest would go to the bottom of the library. Yeah. Oh yeah, no problem at all. No, I'd rather check and be correct on the ruling there. So yeah, no problem at all. Yep, good luck. All right, guys. So we had a little bit of a ruling thing in our other finals tournament, and so it looked like a pretty unique situation there. He on accident drew the Ursula off of a card draw, and then drew also the 4 cards with Ariel, and on accident drew 5 cards. I was like, wait, no, I actually meant to add the Ursula to hand, and it's like, no, it was the cards were triggered correctly. You still add the Ursula to hand. The 4 cards underneath are still revealed. You can still add the action of choice, which happened to be a whole new world, and then go from there. So everything, and he just wanted to double check on the ruling. They were sure that they had it right, but just wanted to double check on the ruling. So. And so this is still going to be a very difficult situation, but I mean, right now, Deadpan Mage is doing a great job at maintaining a very scary board state that you are going to need to have to deal with here. But still, the Cinderella is putting in work, and there's not a whole lot that can be done in this case either. This is just scary. You can quest. And so, yeah, it looks like that's going to be game in that case. And Deadpan Mage is going to be going ahead and scooping in that case, giving Lindsay the game to win and her to be a champion of the Last Chance qualifier. And so, yep, so Deadpan Mage is second place, and Lindsay, you won the Last Chance qualifier. So, great job. And yeah, Deadpan Mage, you'll be in second. There are no more matches after this. So great job, guys, and great matches. Okay, guys, so we are going to be going over into the final match in this case as well. And so let's go ahead and see if Lindsay is going to be... And so we'll see if Lindsay is available to do an interview as well. She is the champion of the Last Chance qualifier. She has worked her way through all the matches, all the way to the finals, and been able to do so. Okay, hop in channel 1. And so it looks like we do have an interview that we are going to be having with Lindsay here as well. And so it's going to be interesting to see what we have going on. Let me go ahead and get all of that set up. Interview. Yeah, so I mean, you had some very interesting matches, and what was interesting too was the first thing that I noticed was you switched from Steel Song to some Diggy Diggy Hole. So what was kind of your decision making in that process?
So I've been kind of toying around with the Diggy Diggy Hole all season and kind of went in and added some more nights to it because I kept getting wiped. Like if I couldn't win in the first couple turns, then I was just done. And so I got lucky in some of those games where a lot of my songs would come up. Is if I can get that Cinderella and play some songs early on, they can't get started, then I'm able to get a good amount of lore and just flood the board.
Yeah, well, and that was the hardest part too, because I casted especially a lot of your end of season matches, and it was so sad because you would get so close and then just run out of that final steam, not able to get like that one dock or something to just get you to that final 20. And so, but I mean, it looks like the change really paid off for you this time around. And what was most interesting was the Sleepy. What was your mindset with the Sleepy? Not too many people play the Sleepy, but it looks like it put in absolute work for you today.
Yes, I loved having him in there because I was able to protect a lot of my other people. They would have to waste something within their turn to be able to take him out before they could get some of my bigger players on the board. And then again, just him being a knight, I was able to use him if I wanted to move him into the mine, do 2 damage in a turn. So yeah, he just had a lot of utility that has really helped in the past couple games.
Yeah, and I mean, absolutely put in work. Now, I got to talk about the literal god hand that you had game 1 against Deadpan Mage. I mean, come on, like turn 1 Cindy, you sing the song properly, you get the piglet, I mean, you just had everything that you needed, and then even top decking with the dock, everything that you needed to be able to just dominate that game 1. I mean, how did that feel?
Oh, it felt awesome. I even told her, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I drew the card that I really needed. I just felt bad. I kept taking out all her people, but it was the luckiest hand I think I've ever had with Diggy Diggy.
Yeah.
Cinderella just kept being able to sing take somebody out, and then I could quest with the others, which was nice.
Yeah, and I mean, it was so cool to also be able to see you and Deadpan Mage in the finals of this tournament. I mean, she's a great competitor as well. And so, yeah, but I mean, congrats on the win. What are you looking forward to, especially this next Sunday, playing in the final stand tournament?
My goal is going to be to win one game. I've had a tough time this season,
Yeah.
so I think I'll be happy. Both me and my husband are going to be playing in it, so we're also going to be figuring out how we have a setup in the same room, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
With a baby, so it's going to just be a challenge overall, but it'll be fun and worth it, so we're excited.
Yeah, that's all. And I'm like subliminally hoping that like you and Chasey go, or is it Chasey or Chassis? I keep getting confused.
Chasey. Yeah.
Okay. You and Chasey going against each other, like that'd be so funny. Husband and wife like battling it out in the final tournament. But all in all, though, really great games that you had today, and super excited to see what you're able to bring to the tournament this next Sunday. Great job on the win today.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for running this league. It's been a pleasure, something to look forward to every week, so I appreciate you putting all the work into it.
Awesome. Really appreciate that, too. And yeah, good luck again next Sunday.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Alrighty, guys. So that was Lindsay, the winner of the Last Chance qualifier. She is going to now be going against the 4th-seeded player of the Last Chance qualifier. And you heard her say it. She wants to be able to go on and take down that first win, which means that she's going to be in the upset there too. So that's pretty incredible. Can she do it? After today, it's anyone's game, and I think she very well could. Now, Deadpan Mage played an absolutely masterful game as well, but sometimes the cards just don't happen to go your way either. And unfortunately, like we said, the Lindsay had just the absolute god hand that game won. But all in all, again, congrats to Deadpan Mage, congrats to Lindsay, and congrats to Michael and Luigi for a well-played tournament. And to everyone who has been competing in the Knights of Lorcana League. Guys, that is going to be our broadcast today. So great to have all of you here. If you do want to join the Discord or be a part of the league, go ahead and join the Discord down below. We also have a YouTube channel where all the matches that are casted at least can be uploaded to the YouTube channel, so you could go ahead and see yourself be commentated in this league. It's pretty incredible to be able to see. So grateful for everyone here. Again, special shout out to Earlmeister for the raid of all the people that happen to be following him. Really great to have him here for that drop. And again, thank you guys so much for making this league possible. It would not be possible without you as the competitor to be here for the league. And so again, it is such a special time. Thank you so much. And good luck to those in the competitors next week for the final stand tournament. It is going to be something to be seen. Stay tuned and have a good one.